Hello students, how are you all? I hope you are happy and healthy. Students, as you all know, we were doing the exercise of chapter number 8, the bear story. And that we have discussed many questions also. Today, we are going to do the remaining questions which were left yesterday. So children, let's start doing the question and answers. So our next question is, why was the bear looking sorry for himself in the evening? Why did the cook get angry with her mistress? So children, let's write the answer. Answer. The bear was looking sorry for himself in the evening because he had been chained all day and he could not do his usual activities when his mistress returned. She scolded him because she saw in the forest the same bear. She scolded him, thinking that it was him. Okay. She saw in the forest. So children, she saw in the forest. Now just write down, she said that as punishment he would have to remain chained for 2 more days. The cook loved the bear. The cook loved the bear. The cook loved the bear as her child, so, and could not bear, to see the bear being scolded, like that. So you just write it down, and because the answer is quite long, so we will do in the next page also. So children, write it down the answer or take a screenshot. So I am going to erase this answer. Now I am writing after that line, she told the mistress that the bear had been very good the whole day, and had been sitting outside his kennel. Okay, children? Looking at the gate, and waiting for her to come back. So here you can see the bear was obedient and was sitting whole day outside of the kennel, and because of the misunderstanding by the mistress, it was happened. She scolded that bear bitterly, and she gave a punishment to be chained. So children, this answer is completed now. Now we are moving to our next discussion question answer. That we have already done one. Now we are going to do the next one. The second bear did not attack the lady because he was afraid her. Do you agree? So here we are going to complete this answer also. So children, first you just write it down, and then we will do the next answer. Now this is discuss. Now I am going to write answer. So children, write it down. The second bear did not attack. The second bear did not attack. Did not attack. Did not attack the lady because he too was a friendly bear. He too was a friendly bear. He too was a friendly bear. He was changing. He was chasing towards her, and it seemed as if he wanted to sit near her heels. To sit near her heel. Her heel. Heels, sorry. Her heels. Thinking that he was her pet bear. Thinking that he was her pet bear. The lady scolded him. The lady scolded him and even hit him with a parasol. The bear did not respond. The bear did not respond angrily. Now I am going to write top of the board because there is very less space. So children, I am going to erase this answer. So write it down. Angrily, and after comma I am going to write and slowly turned around and went away. Perhaps sad at being shouted at. Perhaps sad at being shouted at. So here we have completed this answer. You just complete it. Now we have completed all the question answer and exercise of this chapter. Now we are moving to, at the last you can see whose side. Now here you can see whose side. Once during the American Civil War, a woman said to the Abraham Lincoln, "Oh my President, I feel so sure God is on our side, don't you?" "Now, I am," said the President, "what should be the greater concern to us is whether we are on God's side." So this is quite amazing incident which happened in the Abraham Lincoln presidency period, And it was really amazing thing that if the God is our side, so no one can harm us. So children, this is quite good for us, this lesson, that if the God is our side, no one can harm us. So children, let's start. We are going to start this chapter number 9, A Tiger in the House. So after doing this question and answers, so children, write it down or take a screenshot. We are going to start new chapter, A Tiger in the House. So children, let's start doing. So children, let's start chapter number 9 in your supplementary reader book, An Alien Hand, chapter number 9, A Tiger in the House. So this is chapter number 9, A Tiger in the House. So children, we are going to start this chapter. So for that, before going to read this chapter, I would like to share few points which is written inside this chapter. So children, grandfather finds a tiny tiger cub in the forest and brings him home. Grandfather calls him Timothy and brings him up like a human child. Timothy is playful and naughty. His companions are Toto, the monkey, a puppy, and other member of household. So this is again a story about an animal, and this is about a tiger. So children, let's start reading this story. Now children, Timothy, the tiger cub, was discovered by grandfather in the Terai jungle near Dehra. One day when grandfather was strolling down the forest path at some distance from the rest of the party, he discovered a little tiger about 18 inches long, hiding among the intricate roots of the banyan tree. Grandfather picked him up and brought him home, and he had the distinction of being the only member of the party to have bagged any game, dead or alive. Now here you can see, one day when the grandfather of this story, you can say this is written by great writer Ruskin Bond, and he is writing his own experience with tiger. He is writing that Timothy the tiger cub. The name of the tiger cub is Timothy. So Timothy the tiger cub. So here he just writing about when he found this Timothy. Actually, his grandfather was used to go in the forest. So while strolling down the forest path at some distance from the rest of the party, he found this 18 inches tiger. This is actually a cub, and it's so small and hiding among the intricate roots of the banyan tree. So the roots of the banyan tree, as you all know, it's very critical and it's very strong also, and the tiger cub was found in that. Grandfather picked him up and brought him home. Now here you can see, because his grandfather also animal lover, so he picked up and brought it home. He had the distinction of being the only member of the party to have bagged any game, dead or alive. Now here he used to go in the forest area to beg it. So this is, you can say, they are moving in the group, and he used to win always this type of the games. So at first the tiger cub, who was turned Timothy by grandfather, was brought up entirely on milk given to him in the feeding bottle by our cook, Mahmoud. But the milk proved too rich for him, and he was put on a diet of raw mutton and cod liver oil, to be followed later by a more tempting diet of the pigeons and rabbits. Now here, children, you can see when he brought this small cute tiger cub at the home, so his cook, his name was Mahmoud. Mahmoud fed with a bottle that cub, and he used to drink this type of the milk. But after that, it was whenever it's growing up, he was growing up, that cub was growing up, and it became a Timothy, then he required more meals. So that is provided by the Mahmoud, but the milk proved too rich for him. So that is why he just turned from his put in the diet of the raw mutton. So raw mutton, it means it is not cooked, it is raw, and cod liver oil. So that is also good for the cubs, or also good for the tigers. As you all know, they are all non-vegetarian animals, and they are called predators because they used to prey these type of the living creatures. So that is why the Mahmoud was provided him a raw mutton and cod liver oil. And after that, to be followed later by a more tempting diet of pigeons and rabbits. So this is also his diet. Timothy was provided with 2 companions, Toto and Monkey. There were 2 more animals which were living inside that house, that is Toto, the monkey, and who was bold enough to pull the young tiger by the tail. So he was so frequent to pull the tail of that tiger and then climb up the curtains. So if Timothy lost his temper, and a small mongrel puppy found on road by grandfather. So as I have already told you that his grandfather was an animal lover. So that is why he used to bring home these type of the animal which he found when he was on the road or in the forest. He just used to move or roam in the forest. So that is why he brought so many animals inside his house. So children, here you can see the Toto the monkey used to climb on his back, and when the tiger was angry with that, so that type of things quite irritating for the tiger, because he not used to that type of the attitude. So found on the road, and again the another animal which were living inside that room, that is in home, that is a puppy, or you can say mongrel puppy. So at first Timothy appeared to be quite afraid of the puppy and darted back with the spring if it came too near. He would make absurd dashes at it with the large forepaws and then retreat to a ridiculously safe distance. Finally, he allowed the puppy to crawl on his back and rest there. So now here you can see the meaning of darted. Darted, I am going to write over here. Darted. Darted means moved or rushed suddenly. Move or rushed suddenly And next is the retreat. Retreat is a other word that is also you can find in this paragraph. Retreat. Retreat is a word that the meaning of the retreat is go back. Go back. So these two word meanings you can find in this paragraph. So at first Timothy appeared to be quite afraid of the puppy. Now when he was a cub, the tiger was a cub, so he used to afraid of that puppy because he never seen these type of the animals. So that is why he quite afraid. Now and darted back with the spring if it came too near. Whenever the dog was coming near to the cub, so he used to move or rush suddenly. So darted means he used to rush and move suddenly, the cub. Yes. Now he would make absurd dashes at it which is large 4 paws and when retreat to a ridiculously safe distance. So he always take a distance from that dog and then retreat to a ridiculously safe distance. Finally he allowed the puppy to crawl on his back and rest there. So finally he just allowed that puppy to crawl with him. Now one of the Timothy's favorite amusement was to stalk anyone who would play with him. And so when I came to live with grandfather, I became one of the tiger's favorites. With a crafty look in the glittering eye and his body crouching, he would creep closer and closer to me, suddenly making a dash for my feet, rolling over on his back and kicking with the delight, and pretending to bite my ankles. Now here you can see, children, one of the Timothy's favorite amusement. That is, you can say, the enjoyable thing for the amusement means when you feel enjoy, when you feel joy whatever you are doing. So this is the favorite amusement was to stalk anyone who found play with him. So this is, he used to move steadily or towards. So he used to play with them he used to stalk anyone who would play with him. So that is his amusement. And so when I came to live with grandfather, I became one of the tiger's favorite. So Rustin Bond is telling us then when he used to come to live with his grandfather, so the tiger became his favorite. Now, with the crafty look on his glittering eyes and his body is crouching. So that is also a really amazing body of that was very attractive for the Ruskin Bond, and he just fascinated by his very pretty eyes and the beautiful body and his body crouching. He would creep closer and closer to me. He used to come near me because suddenly making a dash for my feet, and then he just put a paw on his feet, rolling over on his back and kicking with delight. And again he just rolling over himself and just kicking his delight and pretending to bite my ankles. And just like pets, he used to crawl on my feet. This Ruskin Bond is telling us that he used to crawl on my feet, and just like a dog they are doing, as you must have seen in your house that dogs are used to do this type of the things. So same thing this tiger is also doing like a pet. He just crawl on the feet of the Ruskin Bond, and he used to assess a pair, that is type of the movement he used to do, and he just acting that he's eating its paw or biting his feet. So he's doing like this. So this is called his amusement. Now he was by this time the size of full-grown retriever, and when I took him out for a walk, people on the road would give a wide breath. Now here, When he pulled hard on his chain, I had difficulty in keeping up with him. His favorite place in the house was the drawing room, and he would make himself comfortable on the long sofa, reclining there with great dignity and snarling at anybody who tried to get him off. Timothy had clean habits and would scrub his face with his paw exactly like a cat. Because as you all know, they are all the cat family. So he slept at night in the cook's quarter and was always delighted at being let out by him in the morning. Now here you can see Retriever, a breed of dog trained to retrieve game in hunting. So that is called Retriever. So now this full-grown Retriever, it means it was tamed skillfully. So that is why it is written over here like a Retriever. So it's now the full-grown Retriever, and when I look him out for walks, when I used to took him to walk, people on the road would give us a wide berth. It means they just keep a safe distance from us. Wide berth means it's they took a long distance for us because they felt very scary about that, because after all it was a tiger. So that was really scary for the people also, those who are living nearby. When the Ruskin Bond used to go to the walk with this wild Retriever, so the people make distance that time. So children, we have completed this and we just you should know what is the habits of Timothy. Timothy had clean habits, because it's living inside the perfect house and the human beings are living over there. So he used to do the things which whatever the humans were doing. So the would scrub his face with his paw exactly like a cat. But his habit was to scrub his face with his paws like a cat are doing. Now, he slept at night in the cook's quarter. He used to sleep at night in the cook's quarter because the Mahmoud is there. So, and was always delighted at being let out by him in the morning. And he was so happy when the Mahmoud was coming to took him out from his quarter. So he felt so happy when he came out from the house, so from the room, the servant's quarter. So children, we have completed first part of this story. That is a very good story, and it is written by Ruskin Bond. So children, we will continue this chapter tomorrow. So children, write some word meaning which are given in this chapter, in this first part of the story. So we will continue tomorrow this chapter. So till then, bye bye and take care.